What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today is day number 79 in our Noob to Awesome series. I haven't been trying very hard to push into that end game. The truth is that I like playing this account, and I'm not ready to give it away yet. Let me know how you're liking this content, and how far you'd like to see us push into the game. Now, I consider end game to be Challenger 5 in Arena, finishing episode number 4, all hunts on auto, Hell Raid, Tower level 5, and Abyss 100. So far, we've finished about half of these. I have not tried to beat the boss Zio on episode 4 yet. We also have not beaten Abyss 100. It's very difficult without Tamarin or a lot of the popular heroes people are using. So we are going to keep trying on that, but haven't quite gotten there yet. Now today we're going to take one more step by finishing Tower level 5. We're also going to try and craft some gear and hope that we can build more units. But first, let's go ahead and get into some summons. Summoning for heroes is one of everyone's favorite things to do, right? And we do have this free event where we have 11 free Covenant summons. I haven't really gotten much yet. Hopefully we can get into something 5-star. But so far, not really getting what I need to sort of progress here. A couple of those days were even like nothing but 3 stars. So really just using those for imprints to try and move forward into our reputation and get more of those bookmarks as rewards, right? We got a 4-star unit here. We have Rin. Truthfully, I don't use Rin. She seems like she's almost there. She just needs one little change and she could be meta. But right now, you know, the buffs are fine, but she doesn't heal enough. You can't utilize her as a healer, as a dedicated healer and buffer. 4 more to go. Still haven't gotten anything that we could use. That is a little disappointing. Come on, 2 more to go. Give me something. Not yet. Last one. We do get a spark. This is pretty good. This is more sparks than I've gotten all week. But it's an artifact and a 4-star artifact. We have El's Fist, not one of my favorites. They did buff this by giving 10% attack here, but this is not the first artifact you choose for really any hero, so we'll keep building on that. Let's go now into the Moonlight. You see I have some here, and we're only 1 away from our guaranteed 4-star, 4 to 5-star hero. So let's see if we can start with a spark. We do get a spark. It's a new hero. We see Fill the Hero Journal. Who are we going to get? 4-star.
Pleased to meet you. I'll go wherever I'm needed.
Troublemaker Crozet. He, in my opinion, is one of the cooler looking heroes in the game. His eyebrows look just like mine. Now this guy, I think, is pretty amazing. He does have a nice buff onto his S number 3. His S2 has a built-in Aureus only for the back row, but stronger than Aureus. This is a 40% damage taken in place of that, which of course Aureus I think is like 20%. And he has a chance to counterattack with a stun, one of the premier heroes into RTA and into a lot of content. So we're definitely going to build Troublemaker Crozet, and he's going to be a hero that we utilize with those imprints, right? The Crozet imprints, because Crozet really isn't used for very much. Okay, we have a 4-star guaranteed right here. Who are we going to get? We get the sparks. Give me someone. Okay, it's a thief. No real thief that I want.
I will show you the power of the enchanted blade.
Bloodblade Karen. Okay. She is definitely a cool looking hero. Definitely a hero people love to use. She hits super hard with her S number 3. You know, if you can build her up with a lot of effect resist, what happens is that she gets that immortality from her passive ability, and as her health decreases, her attack now goes up, right? So people hit her, they can't kill her because of the immortality, so as long as you don't get that removed, then your S3 hits super hard. And then her S1, not too bad either. In this, she's going to be getting combat readiness. And I think she also recovers. Yeah, recovers some of her health. So she is a very popular hero to use. but you do need some pretty good gear because you have to build up that effect resist. We have one more summon here. Let's go ahead and get that one done next as well. We get another spark. Okay, let's go. Can I get an Angel of Light? Oh no, another thief. Assassin Sid, one of the very fastest heroes in the game. He also hits extremely hard, so you don't have to build him super fast. You can also utilize him as just a general damage dealer, but single target attack, right? When we look at his S number 3, it hits very hard, and it gives him the evasion chance. But what we're seeing here is remove souls as well. So primarily going to be a PvP hero. He does get quite a lot onto his passive ability. When someone dies, caster is granted attack and combat readiness. So if you want, you can put him into sort of an aggro or a cleave style, kill someone off the bat, that will boost up your Assassin Sid. He takes that next turn, blasts them with the S number 3, and then he gets evasion, right? So even if the enemy cuts, hopefully he'll be able to evade, take that next turn, and wipe out everyone. Here we go, Automation Tower level 5. Now this is the season that has the burns, the bleeds, and the detonates, which is very important, because this is the season where you can bring in a lot of your heroes that have burns and bleeds, and they will do even more damage. This is really great for someone like a Carrot, or a Bihu, or a Tempest Surin, or like a Koana, or a Senya even. With those heroes that have really high base attack, when you detonate the burns and bleeds, you're going to do them more damage than you would with other types of heroes. So you want to try and utilize those. Now what I like to do is I like to bring in a hero that has a 100% chance to provoke. That way I can go and provoke the healer here and really drop down those burns and bleeds without her ever getting a heal off. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those heroes. Something like a Fallen Cecilia, or something like a Dark Corvus, or a Senya would be good, but I don't have those heroes, or I don't have them built. So what we're trying to do is we're just going to try and nuke her down to where she's not getting too many heals off, because that's really going to set you back. But you can see these burns and the bleeds, they're building up super high. That detonate, whoa, that detonate was awesome. And if you can get ahead of it before she gets that first S3, then I think that you're going to be in good shape. Now I'm utilizing 2 fire heroes here because I have the device where when a fire hero gets a chance to go, they're going to drop down a burn. Burns do more damage than bleeding, so if you can drop more burns, then you're going to have a much better chance of doing a lot of damage. We also have a device on our Soul Weaver that has a chance to extend those debuffs by 1 turn. The amount of turns is going to determine how much damage you do when you detonate. So that makes your Soul Weaver now into more of a damage dealer. What you don't want to do is you don't want to detonate on the Soul Weaver's turn, because the detonate will utilize the person who's detonating their attack. You want to try and detonate on the turn of somebody who has very high attack. 100,000 on that detonate there, that was amazing. 50,000 and then 115. Man, Carmen Rose, she is so good and so good into this.
Should we get started? This won't be an easy fight.
I'll keep going.
The longer this fight goes on, the more damage they're going to do. So try and end it soon if you can. Especially with this giant mech lady. You know, the more stacks that she builds up, she's going to be hitting you super hard. So try and make sure that you're able to finish the fight in a reasonable amount of time. You can see that we're getting damaged pretty good. Hopefully we can finish this out. I'm not confident, even though we beat Destina. Typically when I beat the Soul Weaver, then it's kind of over, right? But in this case, man, they're doing a lot of damage to us. That was a little bit unexpected. A lot of damage coming out of this lady. I think we're going to get the kill here, and then it's just onto the Spectre Tenebria, and a Spectre all by herself is not going to cut it.
I'll end it now.
No crit there, that was real nice.
Preparation complete.
23,000, wow, was that 23,000? Getting low on HP though.
I'll take you somewhere nice. So be good and follow me.
Carmen Rose, oh man! Just like that, we finished Tower level 5. I just remembered I do have some mail as well, so we're going to see what kind of heroes we get out of here. I'm really hoping for a Tamarin. This is a random 4 to 5 star hero, which of course will also include Moonlight, but you know, can't always guarantee that Moonlight hero. We get Karen. All of the different Karens are usable, so that's going to be a great imprint. Now we have a guaranteed random 5 star hero. Is it too much to wish for straws? Too much. I'll settle for a Zeo. Okay, we get Elena.
A descendant of the stars.
Not as utilized as she once was, but I still really do like Elena. What happens is on her S number 3, she gives invincibility to all of her allies, and on her passive ability, when someone uses an AoE attack, it's going to boost her up and hopefully she can cut. Now what I like to do with Elena is I like to use her against Ran defenses with things who can counter attack. Things like Romero, things like Moonlight, Ken, things like Edward, things like Violet. What happens is she cuts. Then you get immunity for everyone. They hit you, you get a whole round to counter attack. So that's kind of an end game strategy, but not utilized as much as she once was, and really not utilized in RTA anymore. Okay, that's all we have. Let's go ahead now and we're going to go into Asmodeus of Cycle. I'm super excited because this is the first time I'm going to be able to go in and buy something from the shop, right? This part of the labyrinth is what we usually refer to as Hell Raid. We also have Nightmare mode here, but we're not ready for that. We don't have enough heroes. Now this takes at least one bug charm to get in. If you haven't seen the video on how to clear this, then I'll go ahead and put a link to that video up right now. But we're not going to utilize this bug charm today when we go in. If you yield inside a raid or inside any part of the labyrinth, then you are going to be able to retain that bug charm without using it up. You only use it up if you go through the portal, which we're not going to do. Now, what I want you to focus on are these 4 pieces of gear right here, the 4 at the top. There's other things here as well, but we're not going to buy any of those. You want to make sure that you get this gear, because this is some of the best examples of this type of gear anywhere in the game, and it all comes max rolls. So that's very, very important, because you're starting with max. Even if you get a min roll here and there, you're still going to come out with an amazing piece, because it starts super high. But what I want today is I want to get this necklace. Oh man, love this necklace so much. We're gonna roll it right now. So go ahead, we're gonna yield. You can also click try again, but we're just going to go ahead and yield. And as you can see, I still have my 2 bug charms. So let's go in and see this necklace. Oh yes, here we go. Man, so nice. It's just so nice. +3 roll. Okay, so we get a min roll into crit chance. Not amazing, but still very good, like I said, because we start with those max stats. 8. 9 is the highest roll. We get an 8. That is fantastic. It did roll into health, which isn't bad. If you roll into crit chance, health, maybe even some speed, now you can utilize this on a hero that is going to be an HP-based attacker. If we start to roll now into really high attack, then we can pivot from there. But no matter what this rolls into, you're going to have a really good piece of equipment. We get a 3 roll there into speed. Not the best, but pretty good. And we get an 8 roll into our attack. So it's really kind of all over the place. This means that you can utilize it for bruiser heroes. But let's see what this 15 roll is. Now what I want out of my gear at +15 is somewhere above a 90, as close to 100 as you can possibly get. I think that this one is going to roll pretty well. I'm thinking it's going to roll something like a 98. Let's see. $99. Woo, I was so close. Man, am I just a good guesser or what? We have a 26 now into attack. So you can utilize this on pretty much any hero you want. And at a 26 attack, that is going to be fantastic. With the 8 speed, now we're looking at heroes that are trying to get to, somewhere between 200, maybe even up to 240 speed. Not quite fast enough for somebody like a Zahhak, but pretty good if you want to use it on someone like a Rylot, or if you want to use it onto someone who has a single target attack, who can really benefit from that type of speed and a pretty decent attack. Let's go now and see what other kind of gear we have. Nothing here. Actually, we know what we should do. We should clean up some of this gear. So what I like to do is I like to set it to look at gear score. For this pink gear here, I want at least a 24, somewhere closer to like a 28, 29. 29 is the highest, and that is really where I want to be. This is a flat defense boot. I don't roll anything on right side gear that has flat stats, so we're going to get rid of that. This one here is a 24. We have a flat here, so I'm not going to bother with it. Let's see what else we have. This one is a 24, but I don't like this. We have effect resist and defense. What I want to see on that third one is HP, maybe even a speed, or a crit chance, because this is a crit set, but we don't have it, so I'm not going to roll that piece. This one is a 26, pretty good. We have max roll into effectiveness, 1 off from the max into crit chance, and 1 off from max into defense. That is a piece that you can choose to keep. This one, not too bad. 1 off from a max roll into crit chance and crit damage. 2 off from defense. Not something I'm going to keep, though, because I don't like to have it onto the hit set. Here we go. We have a... We have a crit chest with no crit chance. Speed. Now, I don't like to roll effect resist and effectiveness on the same piece unless it's epic piece of gear, so we're not going to bother with that one. Now, this one is the exact same as the other one, except 1 higher. So this one, much better. Much better on that one. Okay, we're not going to bother with this one. Now, this piece here, a 24, we have a max roll into crit. We have a 3, which, is pretty close to a max roll, what I consider a max roll, into speed. This is worth trying right here. Let's go ahead and keep that one. And then everything else we are going to go ahead and get rid of. So we're going to auto select. We're going to auto select all this blue gear here as well. This should have picked it up. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and sell all of that. I do like this new system. It makes it very clean to try and roll that gear. Okay, so we get a max roll into crit damage. Very nice. I do like that. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a max roll into crit chance or speed. That would be ideal. Okay, we get a 6 into crit damage. Pretty good still. And let's see what this +9 roll is. Okay, a 3 into speed, so not too bad at all. At a +9, if this were epic gear, I would want to see a 56 here, right? And we have a 54, which is, even though it's heroic, it's near epic gear quality, which is very good. Let's go ahead and we're going to take this to that +12. Now on the +12 roll, I always consider this to be garbage, so you have to make sure that you're rolling something pretty good in these top 3, or else you're going to have to modify this in some way, right? We don't have an attacking base stat, so we're probably going to roll this into something like a 6 attack. Now it's risky here because if we roll this piece of gear at plus 15 and it rolls into flat HP, then that's going to be just so disappointing. So hopefully we get a roll either into speed or a good roll into crit chance. That's always the risk that you take when you have this heroic level gear, because you just don't know how it's going to go on plus 12. And if it sucks, then your plus 15 is going to be awful as well. But we get, oh man, we get something. What was that? We got 3 rolls here. So we got like a 6 and a 7 and a 7. Fantastic. I want to get up to a 77 when I get a plus 15. I got a 76 here. So this is amazing gear, really good. Now when I go to modify it, I don't have anything quite yet, but we're going to be looking at modifying this into attack. And that will give us a like a 6 or maybe even a 7. And we can utilize that onto a lot of heroes. Let's see what else we have. What else can we roll today? Now some of this gear I'm going to keep, but it's not something I'm going to use quite yet. This piece here is a good example of how I would utilize some Knight Soulweaver gear. We have effect resist, health, and defense. We can modify this bottom one into speed if we get some really good rolls. So that is what I'm after when I see something like this. I see 3 stats that all work together. Now I wanted to start with at least a 24. I think we started with a 25 there. And then now I want to see an average of 6 going up. So I get a 5 into effect resist. Not amazing, but not too bad. Let's see what this plus 6 roll turns into. I think what I would want is... Okay, so we get a min roll into defense. So now this gear is not worth keeping. So we average below 6. And when I see gear like this, you can choose now to sell it, or you can choose to extract it. Normally, when I have gear that I want to make into equipment conversion, then I extract it to get those cores. But they did make a really great benefit here into selling, because now you can get more powder, which means that you'll be able to level up that gear even more, right? So for me, I think that at a plus 6, I'm going to come in and just sell that gear. When I get up past that plus 6, maybe even a plus 9, then I'm going to extract it instead. Now this piece of gear is another example of that Soulweaver type gear. I see health, effect resist, speed. We cannot get defense onto a weapon. So that is where you want to start when you're looking at something for a knight, something for a Soulweaver. But we get a very tiny roll. Oh man, they hate me today. Come on. Tiny roll there into speed. Let's see what we get out of plus number 6. We get a max roll into effect resist. Pretty good. Now I want to be at around about a 43 here for a heroic piece of gear. Or if you're looking at a rare, epic piece of gear, I want to be at about a 46, 47. So this low roll kind of hurt me a little bit. You know, what do we do? Because this is a kind of a new account, right? Then this is something that I will probably keep going into. Let's go ahead and take it up to plus number 9. A 2 into speed. Oh man, that's just not gonna work for me. Now we have to let this one go. We're gonna get our cores and move on. Let's go ahead and we're gonna go into the sanctuary, and I do want to craft some gear. I'm trying for a weapon on Arbiter Vildred, so we're gonna try for that. I'm looking for, at a minimum, crit chance and attack. Speed would go well, and then the last stat can be kind of whatever. You know, crit damage would be ideal. So let's go ahead and we are going to start to sort this gear out. When I see this epic piece of gear here, I want to have, again, somewhere around a 29 or a 30, so this is going to be too low. We do have 4 speed here. Some people like to speed check this type of gear to see if it rolls 3 times in the speed, but I'm not going to do that. We have a good piece here that we're going to lock down. That is speed, crit chance, and crit damage. So that's similar to that other piece that we just rolled as well. We have a crit chance, crit damage, effect resist. I want this to be a damaging stat. That means that it has to be either an HP or it has to be an attack. If you have too many pieces of gear that don't have the damaging stat on there, then what happens is you run into a lot of heroes that are just underpowered and weak. This one, although it is a very high roll, this is not a combination I like to have. Crit chance set with no crit chance or crit damage. I'm not going to keep that one, but this is a gear that you can choose whether you're going to roll it or not. A big problem with rolling that type of gear is that you quickly run out of resources, right? Okay, here is our next set. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these ones right away. We see a flat stat here, which I don't like to have. We see a flat stat here, which I don't like to have. We're going to go ahead and extract those. Now on this set, we have a 24. This might be something you can utilize on like maybe a shoe if you're not going to be putting her onto a pen set, or you can't farm pen set yet, right? We have that damaging stat. This one is too low, so we're going to go ahead and sell this one. Now we come up with speed, effectiveness, HP. This can be very good onto someone like a Angel of Light. What we want is to roll high into speed and high into effectiveness. So this can be a very good piece to have. We see another piece right here, but we're a little bit low on the equipment score, so we're going to let this one go. We're going to go ahead and lock this one down, and we're going to let this one go as well. Can I get something for Arbiter Vildred though? Come on. I want something with speed, crit, and attack. We don't get it. This piece here, while has a very high equipment score, we see crit damage with no crit chance. We have effect resist and health, which is good onto like a Soul Weaver, and then you mod out the crit damage. So as long as we can get this to avoid the crit damage, then this will be good onto a Knight, on a Soul Weaver, onto a lot of heroes who want to be, you know, probably at around about a 200, maybe even a 180 speed. Let's see what we get. No crit damage. Okay, we get a 5 into effectiveness. So I don't think I'm going to keep rolling it. Let's go one more. Another 5 into effectiveness. Now I want to have at least a 47. I get a 46 here, but 2 small rolls into effectiveness. Ideally what I would want is effect resist and health. So I'm not going to be keeping this one again. That's so disappointing. So disappointing. Where was the one that we had earlier? Here we go. Let's see what we get out of this one as well. Okay, a 3 into speed. Can I get another one into speed? Plus 10 into speed. Let's go. Okay, a 6 into crit damage. That's actually pretty good. 7 is the highest roll on the crit damage, so we're right on track here. We could utilize this on someone like Arbiter Vildred, as long as we can maybe get 1 roll into crit chance, and then modify that attack on plus 12. Okay, so we get another 3 roll into our speed. Not a bad piece overall, but very risky when we're looking at the plus 12. Hopefully this rolls like an 8 into attack. That would be good, right? Can I get an 8 into attack? Effectiveness plus 7. You know, that is not the worst thing possible. An HP percent, a attack percent, effectiveness, all good ones there. Now we're at a 64. For an epic piece of gear, I want to be at least 66. This is epic quality already, but again, we're not getting that crit chance, which is very important for our builds. Let's go ahead and roll this up and see what we can get out of it. Here we go. Can I get... Let me get a 4 speed. or a 4 crit chance. That's what I want. Can I get it? Let's go. Okay, we do get a 4 speed. That was amazing, right? That was amazing. This is now a, what, 16 speed when I come in to reforge this piece of gear. We're going to get 16 speed out of it, which is really, really good. Now you can choose to modify, again, attack here, or you can just leave the effectiveness, but you don't want to have too many of these, or else that hero's going to be weak. So I'm going to pair this now with a helmet that has really high rolls into the attack stat, and that will be a fantastic piece for somebody. Let's go now and put that onto our Arbiter Vildred, at least for right now. He can definitely utilize it until we get something better, but let's go find that one that we had. I think it was a speed set. I hope it was a speed set. And there it is right there. So I'm using Arbiter Vildred on Speed Torrent, and I'm not really happy with this helmet. But, you know, it's not awful, but it is lower than I want. I want at least a 66. I got a 63, so I haven't come around to trying to reforge, or to finish this and reforge it, because I want to have at least 10 crit chance on all of my pieces of gear. That way we're able to get 100% crit chance. I think I also have a ring for him. Oh, look, it's right here. Very nice. Let's put that ring on. This is a ring that I made with the Forger Epic piece of gear. I went with attack, 3 rolls into speed, and then 2 rolls into crit chance. That way we can try and get close to that 100% crit chance, right? Also, you know, this is a 79. Let's go ahead. We're going to reforge it. I like this piece of gear. Let's go ahead. We're going to reforge it. I want, at a reforge, above a 90, I get a 91. You know, a lot of this gear that's heroic isn't going to get close to 100. But if all of your gear can end up at a 90, at least, then you're going to have some amazing heroes. And here is our Arbiter Vildred. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, I did talk about this before as well, but once you hit Friendship 10, then you get 3 free Molagora. So don't be afraid to come in and utilize those. There's these Friendship Molagora here. And what I almost always do is just go into the S number 3, but you can kind of use it wherever you want. I don't have the catalyst for him right now. When we go up to Landy, though, this is going to be a really good example as well. Now, she is a plus 10 into Friendship. She's also a plus 15 already. So what happens when you have a plus 15 hero and then you hit Friendship number 10? When we click on Skill Enhance, they're going to give you those free Molagora refunded. So very important, don't be afraid to plus 15 your heroes before you get that Friendship 10. But anyone who is a 4 or 5-star starting hero, make sure that you're utilizing them. Make sure that you're going in and doing that Friendship, or even utilizing some of your gifts, right? They give you gifts through the side story. Don't be afraid to utilize these when you can to get those heroes up. Now, Carmen Rose is a 3-star hero, and although I do love her, I am not very concerned about getting her up to Friendship 10. If whoever I have who needs Friendship, I put them in and I allow them to accumulate, but I prioritize those 4 and 5-star heroes. Next up, we're going to try and finish out a few of our heroes. I just got Brieg. This guy looks amazing as a tank into Expeditions, so I'm definitely going to be building him since I don't have someone like a Cecilia to help me out, right? This guy comes with defense, break, and speed, which is really good. He also comes with a barrier that helps out quite a lot, and he's going to bring extra damage while also having extra cycling through combat readiness. I did have some pieces that I rolled already. This one pretty good. It has a decent roll into health, an 81. I want at least a 80, so this one will turn out really well. We also have this one here. This was a free helmet from the previous event that we had. High roll into health. We have a health ring. This one comes from Hell Raid, and it rolled so good. 103. If you can get all of your gear to 100, you're going to be legend in no time. And then this one here, I actually rolled this. I wasn't expecting anything out of it. And it rolled penta roll into health. So crazy. And then I was able to modify that crit damage there. So we want to get a necklace. We also want to get into a chest plate if we can. I also have Rowana. I pulled her on the last banner. She's one of my very favorite heroes to use into Arena. She works so well with this counter meta. And we don't have any gear for her. So that's what we're going to do next. Coming into the Steel Workshop, don't forget about the crafting event when you can. I'm not ready for this yet, but I'm going to be building a pair of boots with the crafting event. If you haven't started yet, you always want to do the right side gear, not the left side, because you can get that through your regular crafting. So we're going to utilize some of these points, and let's go for a chest plate here. Hopefully I get something for Rowana. Now we're going to go ahead and get rid of some of these things right off the bat. Let's go ahead. This one has a flat, so I'm going to get rid of that one. This one here is going to be too low a roll at a 22, so we're going to get rid of those, and I'm going to extract them. These ones are going to get sold. This one has a flat, so I'm going to be getting rid of that. This one, health with effect resist and effectiveness. This is not a combination I like to have. One of those would have had to have been speed, and that would have been pretty good. This one here is too low. We want at least a 24. We get a 19. Not good. Now we see a speed, crit chance, effectiveness. This is not a bad thing to have. We want a 24. We get a 26. This one also good. We get a 27 here. And these, I mean, this is almost perfect for that Brig, right? It's on hit set, but that's okay. We can still utilize that. Let's go ahead and get rid of these and lock these down so we can, let's try it out. Let's go try it out. Let's start with this crit chance one here. We're at a 26. We got a 6 roll into effectiveness, which is pretty good. I would have liked to have seen speed there first. We do get that effectiveness roll. Okay, and then we get a 5 roll into effectiveness. So I think that at this point here, this is probably not something I want to continue. Even though I have 6s on average into effectiveness, I'm a little bit low onto speed. I don't want to go to +9 and then roll another time into effectiveness, because I don't have anyone that I can utilize this on at the moment. So we're going to keep it, but not something I'm going to continue. All right, now we have a 27. 29 is the highest. We're only missing a 1 into crit damage here. Okay, and we get a max roll into crit chance. That's beautiful. So good. And a pretty high roll into health. You know, we're looking at Brig, and so this can be a very good piece for him. When we are at +6, and it's an epic piece of gear, I want a 47. I get a 48. So we are on track for epic quality gear, even though it's heroic. And that's what I want to see when I'm rolling this gear. Okay, a 6 and a crit damage. That is nearly max roll. A 7 is the max. So I want to have at least a 56 with epic gear. I get a 58. That's above epic right now. Let's see if we get that +12 roll. Now at +12, I want to see a speed. I want to see a... Man, a defense would be nice there. I think defense would be really good right there. Okay, we get a flat health. Not the worst thing in the world, but this is another example of what we say on the heroic piece of gear. It has to be at a very good quality before you get this +12 roll, because it's probably going to be garbage, and it is. You have to consider every single time the +12 comes about, what am I going to do? How am I going to modify it when I get that flat health? Because it's going to come. Almost guaranteed you're going to get something there that's going to be garbage. I was looking to see if I could utilize some other kind of charm. I'd like to save the general charms when I can and utilize the specific charm, like a armor charm, versus a general charm, because that helps me to sort of organize things. Okay, and we get a pretty good roll into health again, so this is going to be a great piece. At an epic level piece of gear, I want to have an 80. I get the 80, so that is great. Can I modify it? I don't have anything to modify. You can go into defense here, that would be good. You're going to get something like a 6 or a 7 when you get a greater defense. You can go into speed, that would be good. You can even go into a effectiveness or effect resist. Now effectiveness would be good because this is on a hit chance set, so that is a great piece of gear. Let's see what else we can get. I still need something for my Rowana. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of these right away. We're also going to get rid of this one because it rolled a flat. This one rolled a flat as well. Those are going to be extracted. Now we can go and utilize these. Flat, flat, flat. Sell those ones. Now we have a crit chance, crit damage, effect resist. Not only is it too low, but that's not something that I like to have. This one here is a speed, health, defense. This is pretty good, even though it's a little bit lower than we want. If we get 1 or 2 max rolls, and that'll put us on track, especially if they all go into speed. So that could be something I could utilize on Rowana. And this one is a crit chance, crit damage, defense. Not bad as well, but not going to keep that one today because I just don't need that type of gear right now. Let's go in and try this one. Can I get something for Rowana? Come on. Couple of max rolls and we're going to be in good shape. Okay, so we get a +3. That did not help very much, but consider this. If you roll a +3 again and a +3 again, that's going to be an 11. +3 forward, that puts you at 14. So if you need some speed, this might be something that's good for you. But let's see, we're going to try and take it to +6 and see. Okay, so we get that 7 roll. For an epic piece of gear, I want to be at a 47. For a heroic piece of gear, I want to be at a 43. So, you know, it's not bad. It's not bad. Let's see what we get at a +9. Okay, we get another 3 roll here. So we're a little bit short of that epic. I want at least a 56. I get a 51, but we're on track for heroic gear. So this one, you know, this one isn't bad, but it's not amazing. When you're first starting out, you can utilize this type of gear to get your hero sort of off the ground in a very decent way. But end game gear, I want something a little bit higher than this. Let's go ahead and we are going to keep going. I think that I can utilize this, especially since I'm pretty new. Now don't forget, the +12 roll, probably going to be garbage. Can I get effect resist? I get crit damage, oh no! That's okay. So we're on track. I want to have a 60, that's pretty good, but below 66 for epic piece of gear. You know, once you roll that +12, no matter what it rolls, you have to think to yourself, I'm going to take it to +15 because I've already wasted millions of gold on this. You want to make sure that you take it up. Now, in this case, what I'm going to do is I am going to utilize it. I'm going to make this into effect resist, or maybe even into a effectiveness. But there is a risk here. The risk is that you roll your +15, it goes into crit damage, which is what you don't want. And now that gear is not going to be as, you know, it's not going to be very good. So let's see what we get here. Okay, get a couple of good or greats there. That's not bad. Save us a little bit on our charms. Anything except crit damage. Come on, anything but crit damage. Okay, all right, whew, not bad. I think I got a 6 there into health, so this can be utilized on some people. We have a 74, which is not bad for the type of gear that we want. I don't have anything I can modify right now, but when we look at something like effectiveness, this will give us a good chance when we modify this into effectiveness with that greater modification stone. Then we're going to be looking at like a 6 or a 7, and you can go into effectiveness or effect resist. Some people also like to go into flat health or flat defense. I generally don't do that because this is going to be a min roll. Basically, it's a min roll. So if I can go into something that has a percent, that's always going to be better than going into a flat. Let's see if we can finish out this Brieg in our Alchemist Steeple doing some conversions. Now I know that it's going to be a broken set, but I might be able to make a crit damage necklace that is very usable on him. So let's go ahead and see what we get. Ideally, I would want to go for a pen set, but I don't have enough cores for that quite yet. Okay, so we have crit chance. Well, this one is good. I want at least a 29. I get a 34. Man, you guys, I think you gave me some luck. Did I finally get some luck? This can roll a number of ways, and I think will be very good on a number of heroes. So let's see what we get here. Starting 34 is amazing, and we get a 7 into attack. Wow, wow, wow. At a +6, I want to be at a 47. I'm already at a 45. So that is amazing. We get a 6 into effectiveness. Now, some of you are saying, oh, that sucks. Actually, that's not bad. It's a good roll into effectiveness. Again, I want to be at a 47. I'm at a 53. Effectiveness is an underutilized stat that a lot of heroes can use. We get a 6 into defense. I want to be at a 56. I'm at a 62. Can I get at least one roll into crit chance, though? That is going to be pretty important. I want all of my damaging gear to be at least 10 crit chance. If you don't get a 10 crit chance, that means you're sort of pigeonholed into using a crit set, which can suck. So, oh, we do get a low roll there. I want to have a 66. So we were ahead of the game for a long time, but then a +4 into defense sort of put us back on track. I want a 66. I get a 69. Still a good set, still usable. You can put this on a lot of heroes. You know, the Carmen Rose or Helga, or maybe even an Alexa would like this set quite a lot. But I want to get one roll into crit chance. Let's go ahead. We're going to take it. We're on track, and this can turn into an amazing piece of gear. Come on, be nice to me. Give me a 5 into crit chance. 5 crit chance. Here we go. Oh man, we don't get a 5 into crit chance, but we do get an 84. And when we reforge this piece of gear, I do have some reforge stones here. We're gonna go from an 84, and it's gonna go probably to like a 96, maybe even a 98. 99, man, I'm just a good guesser. If you can get up to 100 in a lot of your gear, you are going to be an amazing player. Well, you're not going to be any better player than you were, but at least you're going to have the gear to be an amazing player. And hopefully, if you watch a lot of videos, you pick up on a lot of tips that we're dropping, then that will take you to the next level. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this video. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.